3 coplanar points, and bam, there's the radius of the Earth.
On the level.
The way I phrase it is a monument to the curvature of the Earth. It really is.
Level.
It really is.
Level.
And bam, there's the radius of the Earth.
Yeah, we can do the parallel thing with Rumpus, right? Rumpus?
Okay, yeah, whatever.
Okay. Did you see my thing that if A is parallel to B, then A is parallel to A and B is parallel? Okay, right.
Yeah.
What about the next bit, the one that said if horizontal is parallel to the horizon,
which it never is, of course,
then horizontal is parallel to horizontal.
Well, you see, you've got it back arse about front. Horizontal, by definition, is the same as horizontal. So you can't... You're using the premises and the conclusion round the wrong way. Horizontal is the same as horizontal. So you don't
parallel.
prove that.
All horizontals are parallel.
Let me finish.
Yeah.
Horizontal, by definition, is horizontal. That's A is equal to A. It's one of the fundamental bases of logic.
Oh, so you like that then?
The fact you're trying to prove it suggests you don't understand logic.
Well,
right.
so horizontals are parallel to horizontals then, right?
So if you're in a location with an auto level, that projects a plane that is called level. If you go to some other location, your direction of down is different. So your auto level projects a different plane that is horizontal.
Yeah, level is horizontal. I know, you agreed this morning.
Those two horizontals, or those two levels, are not parallel.
Rumpus just said they were.
Bev, are you done, or are we going to expound on the intersecting horizontal things?
No, they can't intersect, can they? If they're parallel, they can't intersect. That's done.
Correct.
Rumpus said
horizontals
correct. Are all parallel to one another.
Yeah, and he might have been talking about geometrically speaking, just if you have.
No, he said all horizontals are parallel. That's what he just said.
Yeah, context matters, Bev.
I appreciate it. Okay, so Roohif,
yep.
Are horizontal lines, which are perpendicular, 90 degrees to vertical lines, are they straight?
Yes.
Okay, so how can horizontal be level?
In my book, it depends what context you're talking about, but in my book, the words level and horizontal, in a certain context, are synonyms, exact synonyms. The context is that that's a distance from the center of the Earth. It's not a flat plane that's that's perpendicular to down.
Yeah, but you believe in a curved level.
No, I don't believe in a curved level. Level is relative to one point. The context is that that's a distance from the center of the Earth. It's not a flat plane that's that's perpendicular to down. In my book, it depends what context you're talking about, but in my book, the words level and horizontal, in a certain context, are synonyms, exact synonyms.
That was the point of the logical statement.
Well, obviously horizontal is parallel to, otherwise it wouldn't be horizontal.
Brilliant. So how do you have a horizontal?
A is equal to A.
How do you have
You're not saying anything.
Rumpus, how do you have a horizontal that intersects with a horizontal if horizontals are parallel to each other?
Well, a horizontal doesn't intersect with another horizontal.
Fantastic.
I hope you're recording this.
Oh, yes.
Like a water level will always give you equal elevation, but if it's long enough and it's further enough away, it will not coincide with level at one end.
And then you as an individual want to go against what the collective put in the dictionary.
Yeah, and that's fine.
That is fine, yeah.
Right. So when Roohif asked me, does the test, the water level test, have anything to do with the shape of the Earth? I said no, right? Because the water level doesn't give a shit about what's underneath it. When you establish a horizontal, it doesn't care what's underneath it. So the water level test, being a test for horizontal, doesn't give a shit about what happens underneath it. It establishes an even altitude, right? That's horizontal. That's what the test is. So
no, it's not. Horizontal and level are very different. If you'd read a surveying book, you'd know that.
Oh, hi, Rumpus.
Well, Roohif just said horizontal.
Yippee!
Can we do the parallel thing, Rumpus?
Do we need the...
Rumpus, yeah, we can do the parallel thing with Rumpus, right? Rumpus?
Okay, yeah, whatever.
Okay. Did you see my thing that if A is parallel to B, then A is parallel to A and B is parallel? Okay, right. What about the next bit, the one that said if horizontal is parallel to the horizon,
which it never is, of course,
then horizontal is parallel to horizontal.
Well, you see, you've got it back arse about front. Horizontal, by definition, is the same as horizontal. So you can't... You're using the premises and the conclusion round the wrong way. Horizontal is the same as horizontal. So you don't
parallel.
Prove that.
All horizontals are parallel.
Let me finish. Yeah. Horizontal, by definition, is horizontal. That's A is equal to A. It's one of the fundamental bases of logic.
Oh, so you like that then?
The fact you're trying to prove it suggests you don't understand logic.
Well,
right.
so horizontals are parallel to horizontals then, right? That was the point of the logical statement.
Well, obviously horizontal is parallel to, otherwise it wouldn't be horizontal.
Brilliant. So how do you have a horizontal?
A is equal to A.
How do you have
You're not saying anything.
Rumpus, how do you have a horizontal that intersects with a horizontal if horizontals are parallel to each other?
Well, a horizontal doesn't intersect with another horizontal.
Fantastic.
I hope you're recording this.
Oh, yes.
I mean, you're an idiot. You think it's got nothing to do with horizon. There's nothing in Euclid about horizons. It's got nothing to do with surveying. Surveying has got nothing to do with horizon. So the fact you're introducing this subject means, again, you know nothing about surveying.
Surveying has an awful lot to do with horizontals being parallel to horizontals, though.
Yes, but nothing to do with horizons.
No. But the fact that all horizontals are parallel
so why do you keep on talking about horizons and horizontals when you've just said yes, as though you understand that they've got nothing to do with one another?
I'm smiling now, Rumpus, because you don't know what you've just said.
Oh, I do. I know absolutely
what it's ever.
Yeah.
You have no idea what you're talking about.
Thank you so much,
You have no idea what you're
going to put the kettle on.
This
you
server.
have no idea what you're talking about. I don't know what pages you're bringing about.
Absolutely love you, Rumpus. You're fantastic.
That's very
Hold on.
Well, I'm glad I've got a fan.
Parallel to horizontals.
Hold on, Paige.
Brilliant, Rumpus. You are brilliant.
Hold on, Paige.
Rumpus.
Let Bev work it.
I'd agree with that. Yeah, I'm pretty brilliant.
Rumpus, what has happened to your test?
Well, I tried to get 7 people to come together and trying to do that, and also I went through 2 video producers because I needed a video producer to cover it properly during the day, and I couldn't get 7 people at the same time. Particularly my video producer decided to go and get an extra second job the 2 days after they agreed to do it for me, which meant they were working 10 hours a day, and I couldn't train them up properly. But anyway,
you couldn't train them
up.
It's
all going to be resolved. Hold on, it's all going to be resolved. Time has been allocated next spring, and my video producer is now semi-trained up and will be able to do it.
We're aiming for 2024.
Does Jose chastise you?
Bev, are you done, or are you going to expound on the intersecting horizontal things?
No, they can't intersect, can they? If they're parallel, they can't intersect. That's done.
Correct.
Rumpus said
horizontals
are all parallel to one another.
Yeah.
I'm sure we
Has
could
Rumpus
find
seen Roohif's little
volunteers.
diagram where he's got his horizontals intersecting?
When Roohif said level is horizontal, and then all horizontals are parallel,
Levels
then
are not
we're done.
horizontal. Levels
How did Roohif
are not
run away?
horizontal.
Yeah, that's what Roohif said.
They approximate to one another.
Because we said, what would you think Fight the Flat Earth'd say about that when he said it? We went, I don't know. He might be getting banged out the club. Now you've just said that he said the wrong thing as well.
Hold on, who said? Hold on, who you say? What you saying that Fight the Flat Earth said?
Pardon?
Sorry, I'm now lost. Who said what? Who you're claiming said what?
Oh, you wait and see. Don't worry about it. Doesn't matter. All we need to worry about, Rumpus, at the minute is you have said that all horizontals are parallel.
Well, of course.
That's your big problem at the minute.
We are talking. Which horizontal are you talking about?
Backpedal.
No, I'm not going to backpedal.
You backpedal.
Listen. You listen.
Don't say which when you said all.
For Christ's sake, let me finish.
All.
Horizontals are lines. Now, are you talking about the line across the side? Listen. Across the field. Listen, twat. across the field of view, or are you talking along the line of sight?
Oh.
So, for instance, are we talking about listen? Are we talking about horizontal, where you're
He said
looking
all of
along?
them,
Shut
Rumpus.
up! Well, are you
All of
talking
them
about?
are, Rumpus.
Shut up, you twat! Are we talking about? Shut up,
Almost
twat!
All
Be quiet,
horizontal
you
lines
If
are
you'd
parallel.
listen, you'd have an
Be
answer.
quiet.
All
Be
horizontal
quiet.
lines
Be quiet,
are
twat.
parallel.
Nearly
Right,
finished.
are
Nearly
we-
finished.
Be
Yeah.
quiet.
Nearly there. Nearly there. Nearly.
Listen,
Just like
twat.
all vertical lines are parallel with each other.
Listen, there are two sorts of horizontals we could be talking about here. One, across the line.
Two
Be
horizontals.
quiet, twat.
All of them. All of them,
Be
Rumpus.
quiet.
All of them.
Oh, be
What geometry
quiet.
class did
Be
he go
Isn't
to?
it bloody
Be
terrible when someone
quiet.
talks over the
Be
top of you, isn't it,
quiet.
Rumpus?
Be
Terrible when
quiet.
someone
Be
talks over the top of
quiet.
you.
Be quiet,
quiet.
please.
Be quiet.
Quiet,
Be
please.
quiet.
Sorry,
Guys,
Be
all
quiet.
horizontal lines.
Be quiet. I'm making an
I've
important
nearly
point
finished.
here.
Quiet, please. Quiet, please.
I'm making an
I'm
important
nearly
point.
there.
for the twat
Nearly
there.
there.
I'm making an important
Nearly
point
there.
for the twat.
Nearly
and
there.
All horizontals.
No, I'm nearly there.
You're being a twat.
Almost
You're being a
finished.
twat.
Almost finished.
You're being a twat.
All
I'm making an important
horizontals.
point. I'm trying to move the discussion
Every
along.
one of them.
horizontal
Even both
lines.
sorts of them.
You're
Just-
being a twat.
Listen,
You're
here we
being a
go.
twat.
No, no,
You're
go-
being a twat.
Look,
Let me make my point.
No, we're having
We
fun,
could be
Rumpus.
quiet.
This is
Right,
so
the
the
Sunday
question
Friday
is,
for me.
be
Yeah, so
quiet,
this is why
twat.
rumpusing is a
Be
verb,
quiet,
hey?
twat. Right, so the question is, when we're talking about horizontal, we could be talking about two sorts. One, along the line of sight. So when you're looking at something, are we saying that, for instance, an auto level, which comes out your line of sight, is horizontal with level, or are we talking about horizontal going across the line of sight, which is what a horizon does? Which of those horizontals are you interested in?
All of them.
All horizontal
Right,
lines
all
are
of
parallel
but
with
do
each
you
other.
understand? Two
Like
of
you
those
said 5
horizontals are
minutes
not.
ago.
Be quiet.
All.
Two of those horizontals are
Here we go.
90.
You could have done
Two
this
of those horizontals are
ages
90
ago.
degrees to one another.
Rumpus,
They're not
if they're
parallel.
not parallel with each
Two
other,
of
then
those
they're not
two of those
horizontal.
horizontals are at 90 degrees to one another. Therefore, they're not parallel. Jesus Christ, you bunch of twats.
Then they're not horizontal lines.
Flat plane, it's
And a
plane.
Lines in your
plane,
field of
you
view
can
that
have
aren't
horizontal
horizontal
lines.
with each other are not parallel.
Moron, you moron. You can have a horizontal going along the line of sight, and you can have a horizontal going across the line of sight. They're not parallel, you twat.
Whoa, come on.
Well, you're the one that said they were.
They would be parallel with
Jesus
each other.
Christ,
if they
how
were.
stupid are you?
It makes you a
Horizontal
twat.
lines are parallel
How
with
do you
each
manage
other.
to tie your shoelaces, or perhaps you don't deal with shoelaces?
Could we go back
You're the one that said all horizontal lines, not us.
Right, so I'm trying to
Yeah,
pin
he
Bev
said it.
down.
I
onto
did.
his-
I said all of them.
He's
Yeah,
worried
I said
about.
all of them. And Rumpus
Oh,
agreed with me.
Explain Bev's words, James.
Stupid morons.
Yeah.
I'm
Here
trying
we
to
go.
pin
He
down.
agreed with
So
you.
which horizontal are you worrying about?
All
Bev,
of them.
you
All of them,
All
Rumpus.
of them
I
matter.
said
All
all
of them
Another,
horizontals.
aren't they?
I
So
said
they're not parallel, you
all
moron.
horizontals are parallel
Hey,
to
Rumpus.
the horizon. Therefore,
No,
all
but the one
horizontals
on
are
the auto
parallel
level
to
is
each
not,
other.
Is it, Bev?
That was
The
basically my
auto-
logical statement that we started
horizontal
off
given
at.
by an auto level is not
You
parallel
started
to the horizon
off
because
by
it's
saying
90
that of
degrees,
course horizontals are
twat.
parallel to
It's
horizontals.
90
Parallel to the
degrees,
horizon,
you
he said
utter,
parallel
utter,
to each
utter
other.
moron.
Yeah. A is A.
You
Parallels,
utter
horizontals are
moron.
parallel to
You
horizontals. So it's
Rumpus,
straight
you
there.
didn't say parallel to
You
the
do
horizon,
not
you
have
said
any
parallel to each
basic
other.
understanding of the issue, do you?
Rumpus.
None at all.
Rumpus.
You are a moron. You are a fraud,
Rumpus,
a
if you
moron, and you.
Fraud?
Rumpus.
Wow.
Hey, Rumpus,
That's good.
can I
How
explain
can,
Bev's
Rumpus,
words?
how
James?
can
all
a line
horizontal
going
planes
out
are
in front
parallel,
of you be horizontal when horizontal is across, left to right or right to left? How
He's talking about
to make the
a
line
plane.
going from your eyes out to the horizon a horizontal, you'd have to put yourself on the side and look at it from the side.
It's a horizontal plane. Doesn't matter.
It's a horizontal plane.
Rumpus.
You're confounding
Yeah,
the horizon
so
with
it's still
it. It has nothing to do
parallel
with
to
the
any
horizon
other
right now.
horizontal, even if it's 90 degrees, because they're still a plane to each other. They're still a parallel plane.
Exactly, parallel
To each
plane
other.
model.
Because if I look out through an auto level, that's a point. That's not a line.
Is Rumpus still here?
That horizontal
No,
line that you see in the
Rumpus
If you
crosshairs.
make a whole
Do you not think that's a horizontal line?
Disturbance.
Going
Couldn't hear
front,
anything.
front
5
face
people
looking
talking
out.
at the same time. Couldn't understand
I'll-
a
I can
damn
explain
thing.
Bev's word game if you like.
Well, I just
Go
want to
ahead,
know which one of
Rumpus.
these lines
Roohif.
are.
Hey, Brandon, mute
Not a
Rumpus.
word
Roohif
game,
is
bro.
back. Roohif back.
Yeah, Roohif's here, so let's hear. Go ahead, Roohif, if you want to address Bev. Let's try to.
Yep. All right. We went through this privately multiple times. So if you have an auto level
privately
location,
pardon,
well,
we've done nothing privately. It's always been on the live stream.
Live.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's not broadcast live onto YouTube, right?
No,
it's fucking nitpicking again.
It's on the live stream over there at Emma UK, right? It's not private.
Yeah, sure, fine, whatever.
Yeah.
So if you're in a location with an auto level, that projects a plane that is called level. If you go to some other location, your direction of down is different. So your auto level projects a different plane that is horizontal.
Yeah, level is horizontal. I know you agreed
those
this morning.
Those two horizontals, or those two levels, are not parallel.
Rumpus just said they were.
Yeah, and he might have been talking about geometrically speaking, just if you have.
No,
two
he said
lines
all
horizontals
are parallel. That's what he just said.
Yeah, context matters, Bev. And this is your...
In context of all horizontals are parallel.
Said words, meanings don't mean anything. You're now saying context matters.
Words mean what we agree them to.
Definitions are meaningless.
Yeah, definitions are meaningless. That was it. But context matters. Dictionary. We have already agreed.
No,
we've written a dictionary.
Dictionaries are not authoritative. Dictionaries are not authoritative.
Oh my God.
They're prescriptive.
Jeez.
This
your
is simple
model
stuff.
dictates what you're believing.
Wow.
You guys are spiraling.
Throwing away the dictionary. Like that is
because
getting
they're
seriously fundy mindset, religious, zealot behaviour there.
Roohif, do you ever play a sport? Did you ever play a sport when you were a kid? Did you ever play a sport?
I played lots of sports. Yeah.
Hang on. Did you change the rules when you were playing mid-game? Did you just keep changing the rules when you were playing football?
What happens when you don't agree with the rules?
Answer
you
him.
don't play, right? You've got to agree with the rules.
Did you abide by the rules, or do you just swap and change them?
You don't agree with the rules of geometry, so you just change them.
The dictionaries do not define.
You're welcome to leave.
They tell you what people use words to.
You didn't abide by the rules, you just get kicked out of the game, Roohif, and when I play.
Exactly. So you can't play the game.
And you're not abiding by the definitions that we've all decided, speaking English, what they mean. They're in our dictionary.
All the players.
What's the point of having a dictionary?
Agree on the
rules.
We
are
because it
the
tells
other
you how
players,
people
Roohif.
use the words.
We all agree. You're the only one that doesn't.
Roohif, I got a question for you, bro.
Can I say one thing?
We're not finished here. You guys are
Can I ask a simple question? Roohif, so if you have horizontal lines...
After I'm heard, then you can ask me a question.
Okay? After I am heard.
You're a sheeple, man.
Hold on. Hey. Let's hear what Roohif has to say, and then we'll go from there to percentage.
You guys look at the dictionary as an authority. It is not. We are the authorities that tell the dictionary what the definitions are.
Who's we?
Who's we?
As a collective.
And we already did that. That's why the dictionary's already written.
Yeah,
we've already
you guys
did
understand,
that.
you guys understand you are taking an argument from authority. This is
and then you as an individual want to go against what the collective put in the dictionary.
Yeah, and that's fine.
That is fine, yeah.
That is fine. Who said that?
It's fine. It's fine because that's how slang was formed. You know, it's when enough kind of drops of water come together, they create enough. They create a wave and they change it. But that doesn't matter.
He's taking a foundation word and changing it. He's not making up a new
and as
word.
such, so there won't be enough support for it to create a new word.
We make the shit up as we go along.
Dictionaries
won't change the definition if there's
percentage.
It's Photoshop because it has to be.
Anyway.
What window are we looking through today, Roohif?
I can't even hear
the
Brandon
round
talk.
window? The square window?
It's
What are the other windows?
Too many people.
The arch window's my favourite.
Can you guys hear me?
How did that music go?
I can hear
We hear you.
Yes,
We're all a
Brandon.
bit triggered, mate.
I think it's you, Cleary.
Okay, it's just so many people.
I know. So let's hear percentage and Roohif. Go ahead, percentage. Ask him your question, please.
I was just gonna ask him a
let's just
simple
keep it to these
question.
two for a minute. Go ahead.
I appreciate it. Okay, so Roohif, are horizontal lines, which are perpendicular, 90 degrees to vertical lines, are they straight?
Yes.
Okay, so how can horizontal be level?
In my book, it depends what context you're talking about, but in my book, the words level and horizontal, in a certain context, are synonyms, exact synonyms.
Yeah, but you believe in a curved level. a curved
No, I don't
line.
believe in a curved level. Level is relative to one point on the surface of a sphere. So as soon as you move from that point, that vertical changes, and therefore your horizontal changes.
So you're saying level is always the tangent to the circle?
Well, parallel to the tangent, at least, yeah.
The straight tangent line to the circle.
Yep.
Can that be demonstrated?
Yeah, I've done it in my video. I pointed auto levels, did reciprocal shots, and they don't point back to each other.
Yeah, auto level's the wrong tool to do that.
No, it's just the exact right tool to do it.
So when someone is using a level, like a water level, spirit level, any whatever type of level over a distance, what do you call that area that they have termed level?
I would call that equal elevation. Like a water level will always give you equal elevation, but if it's long enough and it's further enough away, it will not coincide with level at one end.
Yeah, but it's equal elevation from sea level. So again, what would you term sea level then?
Oh, fucking geopotential, fucking whatever the definition.
Yeah, but sea level, again, like sea level is over an area, right? And they term it all the same sea level. So it has to. You can't just say, you know, from random areas is level, but altogether it's not level. It's all just same elevation. You can't really go with that.
Sphere, then I would say that sea level is an equal distance from the center of the sphere. It is more complicated than that, but
which would be.
That's not.
Yeah, so sea level as a whole would be curved, right? Would be a circle.
Yeah, but then you're talking about the different context of the word level, as you're saying like a, the fucking level, like the vertical level.
Do you not see how it's a violation of the? Sorry,
no,
I was going to say, do you not see how that's a violation of the law of non-contradiction?
The word level.
No, but you're saying that over an area it is level. Sea level is level. You concede that.
No, you're equivocating on the word level.
Oh, so sea level isn't level.
You're equivocating on the word level now. Right, sea level.
Okay, so what is sea level if not level?
Sea level said level is horizontal. Level is horizontal. You know that.
In a certain context, yes. In a certain context, yes.
No, only at one spot is it horizontal.
Are we talking about a plane?
So as a whole, sea level is what?
He's trying to guide you back.
Yeah. He's trying to help you here, I think, Roohif. Are you not understanding?
So as a whole, yeah, I mean, I'm trying to like show him that there's kind of a contradiction in what he's saying. So
he understands.
He's already said there's a straight line and a circle. He has level as both. It's a straight line and a circle at the same time, right, Roohif?
Sea level.
There's contradiction in everything
that is
they
a
say.
Distance.
Let him finish though.
When you talk about sea level, the level in that, the context is that that's a distance from the center of the Earth. It's not a flat plane that's parallel, so it's perpendicular to down. Different context.
That's not how they take elevation.
You're roboting, Jeremy.
You're roboting. Yeah.
So
Sorry.
one of them, Roohif,
Yeah,
you describe
any implications that
you describe it.
I'm pretty sure they don't make any implications that sea level is the same distance to the center of the Earth. It's just saying it's the same like height to each other. It's relative to other water.
How did they get that measurement to the centre of Earth?
No, wait a minute, Bri. Wait a minute. One of them he describes as being perpendicular, right, which is a straight line. Then he says in the next breath he describes it as being a distance from a centre point, which is how you describe a circle. So how can you describe something as both a straight line and a curve?
Imaginometry.
A single word being used in two different contexts. This is your shtick, Bev, and it's just bullshit.
No, level is horizontal. It's not curved as well. It's horizontal. That's what I'm saying.
We're talking in the context.
Let me ask you a question, Roohif, please, if you would. I had meant to bring this up, and I want to see if you can point out the contradiction that's inherent in this definition, and maybe this will further things along. Let me just share my screen. You'll be able to see it in Discord. It is a simple definition with multiple parts. It is the definition of level. Okay. Do you see it?
No, I'm on my phone, just getting it up.
Okay, let me try to make it bigger.
A line of surface which at every point vertical or plumb line is perpendicular. Yeah. That first section, I agree with you.
Okay.
So that's a plane. So
hold on, let him finish, please. Go ahead. What about the second one?
If you have the first one, if you have an auto level at a point, then there is a plane, a flat plane that is perpendicular to that plumb bob. That is one context for the word level.
Okay, so there's a key word here, which is every point, but keep going. What about this second part?
Yeah, so the plane, you can think of a plane consisting of infinite points, right?
You could think of it that way, but a plane is
reading it.
A flat horizontal surface. So it's a line or a surface at which point a vertical or plumb line is perpendicular to every point.
A single plumb line. No. A single plumb line
perpendicular
has a plane that is perpendicular to it.
Yep.
Every point on that plane.
Yep.
That defines a plane.
Yes, and then keep going.
A line or surface which is everywhere parallel to the surface of still water. That would be curved, and I disagree with that one. This is the true level, and there's a curve or surface in which all points are equally distant. Yeah, that's probably the best context for sea level. So a curve or surface in which all points are equally distant from the center of the Earth, or rather would be so. Yeah, that's what I said. If the Earth is
so what is the contradiction? These can't all be the definition of level.
There are
you realize that, right?
There are different contexts for the same word.
No.
Yes.
Is this cognitive dissonance dictionary that you've got here? Where did
Yep.
It's like saying flat could have two different contexts.
The level can be curved and straight.
He's saying
here we go, flat.
A specific verb should have two different contexts. How could flat have two different contexts?
My Coke is flat. Is my Coke flat?
What?
Is my Coke flat?
I think the thing I'm focusing on is the term that says if the Earth were an exact sphere. If the Earth, we all know it's not.
Yeah, they
it's not a sphere at all.
Is my Coke flat? Yes or no? There's no bubbles in it. Is my Coke flat?
Yeah, it does say, or rather would be so, if.
So, there are.
Exactly, Ben, or would be so. It would be so if the Earth.
Yeah.
They say
if your Coke was a ball,
water
would it be
conforms
flat?
to the curvature of the liquid parts of the Earth. Well, yeah, that's true. It does conform to the curvature of the liquid parts of the Earth. None. So they don't.
If you wrap your coat around
what is gravity?
Is anyone going to
wrap your coat around a beach ball? Is it flat?
It's really hard to hear you right there for some reason.
Am I invalid because what you're talking about is a homonym. That's not what level is. It's not, there's not different meanings, completely different meanings because they're different words.
Context for different words.
No, but yeah, that's the thing. Coke flat is a different word,
Hold on,
that's the absence of
that's not
carbonic acid.
Level. Right? Don't let him take you off from a different word.
Definition. It just sounds and spells the same. It's a homonym.
I can use the word level to mean like a height. Like what level is the water in this pipe? And I'll say 60 centimeters off the ground. That's not a flat plane that's perpendicular to down, is it?
60 centimeters off the ground. What?
Yeah, you're right. You could have go to the next level in a video game. That's a different word with a different definition.
Words
it's homonym.
have different context. Thank you. Words have different context. Thank you.
Yeah, but
not level.
Yeah, we know what context we're speaking about.
Yeah, and Bev is a master of not making that clear.
It's clear to everyone, Roohif. We know what context we're talking about.
He's not changing the context of the word. He's using this word in the same context. He's just changing the definition.
In the same context, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's magic trick. Good job. So when he says
is equivocation and dictionary fallacies.
Hang on. No. I'll tell you. So you're saying level is, and then you're saying it is a curve around the Earth, and it is a flat line. That's the same context. You're saying what something is, but you're speaking out of both sides of your mouth.
No, I'm saying sea level is a curved surface, and I'm saying something perpendicular to the plumb line is also attributed the word level.
Yeah,
I have a question for you.
Ball Earth, this cannot be true. A line or surface at which every point a vertical or plumb line is perpendicular. This cannot be true on your curved Earth.
A line or surface at every point a vertical or plumb line is perpendicular. It depends how you read that.
It doesn't.
It says every point.
How do you read it, Roohif?
Well, I can read it as that every point constitutes the flat plane that sort of is perpendicular to the plumb line.
Mm-hmm.
Or you can read it the way I think you're trying to read it, is that every is also the same vertical, which I disagree with.
How can it be the same vertical? What are you talking about?
Well, as soon as you move from where your plumb line is,
yeah,
and you want to put down a new plumb line,
mm-hmm.
you're trying to interpret that to say that is parallel to the original.
Yeah,
plumb
verticals
line.
are parallel. Horizontals are also parallel.
They're not.
Yes.
Verticals on the Earth are not parallel.
X, Y, Z coordinate system. You use it too, Roohif.
I do, and I can draw a sphere in
and
the X, Y, Z
even Rumpus agreed that horizontals are parallel.
In what context?
In the context that all horizontals were parallel.
Again.
Like all meaning everything, every one of them, and horizontal meaning the line that is perpendicular to vertical.
Your shtick is word games, Bev. Your shtick is word games.
Oh,
word games.
All parallels are all. Say it again. All what are parallel?
All horizontals are parallel.
All horizontals. You mean all horizontal lines are parallel?
All horizontals. Yeah. That's what Rumpus said. That's what he agreed. They are.
Oh, that's what he said.
All
but
parallel.
That's not true.
Why?
Well, because you can have them at different angles. That's not true. If you
can't have a horizontal at a different angle, it wouldn't be horizontal.
You can't have an angled horizontal.
Those aren't parallel.
Yeah, because if you change the horizontal so much that it becomes a vertical, it's not a horizontal.
Yeah,
so a horizontal.
If you alter it by half, like a fraction of a degree, it will no longer be horizontal.
No. Here's what I'm saying. We're misunderstanding each other. Just let me show you what I mean before we get too far down the road here.
Spinning the horizontal.
Hold on. So these are two horizontals on this white surface. These are. Can you see my screen?
Yep.
These are not parallel.
They're planes, aren't they?
No. These two red lines.
Yes, a horizontal is a plane. It is in a line, in a position, not on the table like that. They are parallel in the horizontal position. Right? A horizontal is a very definite position. You can't look down on a horizontal like that.
Okay,
there you go.
We're looking at it. We're looking at it on the side. I get what you're saying. Yeah. So what you're saying is, if you in 2D space, if you're looking at two horizontals,
yep,
anywhere they are on this piece of paper, they would be parallel.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I agree with that. In 3D world, right? We'd have lines that we would consider horizontals in 3D space, and those are all not all parallel.
Well, this came from the logical statement, right? That if horizontal is parallel to the horizon, then horizontal is parallel to horizontal, right? It's a mathematical thing. It sort of comes from Euclid, right? It is one of the propositions that a straight line that is parallel to another straight line will be parallel to itself.
On this piece of paper, I agree. So if we're we're out in the world.
But no, that's a straight line, right? But a horizontal and the horizon are real world things, right?
Yeah. I'm not trying to bring this to the real world here. So let me let's just clarify this so I understand it, because if I'm not completely understanding it, there's probably other people that aren't completely understanding it. So I'm standing here, I'm looking out at the horizon.
Mm-hmm.
I've got two lines. I look this direction. There's the horizon for me, let's say, way off in the distance. I've got a line. It's parallel with it. I look in this direction. I look at the horizon. I've got a line that's parallel with that horizon. These two lines are not parallel.
But that's not what you're doing, is it?
It's the same line.
Right now, imagine you're holding a level.
Okay.
Right? Or out in your hands, out in front of you.
Yep.
Right. Spirit now, if that's a spirit level or whatever, and you're holding it, it's there straight in front of you. Now, you're looking at that horizontal, and is it parallel with the horizon?
Yes.
Right, okay. Now, if you were to move that up and down, would it still be parallel with the horizon?
Yeah, in the same exact direction.
Now, if you turn around 90 degrees...
Yes. Yep.
And do the same, will the horizontal always be parallel with the horizon?
That one that I'm looking at that's right in front of me, yes. In that context, yes.
Do you think that because you've turned round, that would make the horizontal that you've just made with that level in one position not parallel to the other one?
Well,
on the horizontal plane, because that's all we're bothered about.
This in context.
Yeah.
So I'm looking this direction. Okay, so I'm looking this direction. I hold my level up, and I draw a line in space magically that is parallel to the horizon. Yep. Then I turn this line, what you just said, and I do the same thing, and I draw this line that's parallel to the horizon, and then I stand back and I look at these two lines. These two lines are not going to be parallel with each other.
But yeah, see, you're looking at it as though it's a line, right? Now, when you establish a horizontal, right, it is a plane. The horizontal is a plane because it's perpendicular with vertical. Now, vertical can be a line, right? But that line has perpendiculars that act in 360 degrees all the way around it, right? So the horizontal that would be established from the vertical is a plane horizontal all the way around. Do you understand that? Because that's how a horizontal's used. You know, like when you establish a horizontal in reality, like in real life.
Give me an example of establishing a horizontal.
A water level. An auto level.
You use the water level to establish the horizontal. Okay, I got you. So nothing tangible. Just saying you're establishing that is horizontal between those 2 points. Got it.
Yeah, and then one end of a water level can move anywhere, can't it? Within 360 degrees, it could go anywhere around that whole plane, wherever you want, and that would establish a horizontal anywhere.
Can I be
like a test
pedantic real quick?
Well, let me respond to what he just said, and then I'll go to you, Travis. So I have the water level. Here's one end. Here's me.
Yeah.
I established this horizontal. This is what you just described and how I saw it in my head. So I'm holding this end, right? And then I move this around. Somebody out here moves this end around, and they go, okay, here. I just established another horizontal between those 2 points.
Yeah.
Those two horizontals are not parallel.
But what you've done there, you've established 3 points that would be coplanar. Now
they are coplanar.
Okay, right. So that whole plane that you have just established would be a horizontal plane.
I agree with that.
Okay, well that's what I mean. When you establish a horizontal, it's that whole plane that is established. Now, wherever you move that,
plane of reference.
That will always be parallel with the horizontal plane that is established, right?
With the horizontal plane. That's the piece that was missing for me, because when you say a horizontal, the first thing that pops into my mind,
you're thinking line.
Horizontal line, not a plane. So that may confuse some people.
You work practically with it, and you automatically realize that, you know, that's a plane. You establish it, you can move it, and it's the same plane wherever you put the mark, right?
So if I establish one at 3 feet, if I establish one at 1 foot, a horizontal plane, and I establish another one at 6 feet, those are parallel.
They'll always be parallel.
Those will always be parallel, and if they're parallel with the horizontal, then those are parallel. So we're talking about planes, not lines. Then
think of it as building a deck. Think of it as building deck.
Build a grid.
If you spin a line around,
you're in the middle.
Okay. I think I get it. I appreciate that. I said I'd go to Travis. Travis, you're up.
Actually, that just cleared up the question I was going to try to get clarity on, so I'm good.
Yeah, I just want to say, if you spin a line around, it doesn't make a circle, it makes a plane.
Yeah, and I would say that all the datums, you know, when people keep talking about sea level, right? Now, in the UK, we all of our stuff, we run on a grid system. We don't have the longitude, latitude lines. We have a square grid system. We also have what's called the ordnance datum. That's sea level established, right? And they call it a vertical datum, right? Because it's established at 0, and then a vertical change is a change in elevation, right? That's literally what it is.
Yeah.
So how do you measure a vertical? Well, you've got to establish a horizontal. The only change you can have is a vertical change, and then that's from horizontal, right?
Makes sense to me, of course. So if you've established this horizontal, which is sea level,
yeah,
like this bottom red line right here,
and that's called a vertical datum, and you set that at 0 at your mean sea level.
You'd take this and you'd say, okay, I drop my plumb line right next to me right here, right? And then I measure up from the vertical datum 6 feet. And I'd say, okay, here's my other horizontal right here. Here's my other plane of reference right here.
Yeah. You'd start at 0, right, with your measuring rod. You'd put your measuring rod on 0. Your auto level would look at the measuring rod and go, okay, now the horizontal that's set by the auto level reads 1.5 meters, right? And then I'll turn it around and we'll establish over there it's 1 meter. And then, well, there's you've just rose up half a meter. that's a half a meter elevation. Right, it's a vertical change. Elevation is established as a vertical change in height.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the only way that can work is because all of the horizontal planes are parallel. Right? You literally couldn't do surveying and measuring without that fact that all horizontals are parallel.
Just imagine how fucking confusing the world would be if it was a ball.
Yeah, if it was curved, you'd be screwed. There'd be all sorts of stupid calculations that you have to do. I mean, they've hidden it in the computers and GPS systems and all of that.
Yeah, they've done enough to backward engineer it and kind of call variables a different thing and make you measure, in a way that makes you think it's a ball, but you're really measuring flat planes, in my opinion.
Yeah. They've definitely done something, right? Because, I mean, you try it. You can ask a surveyor. Don't ask the YouTube conveyors. Go to a proper surveyor. Ask them. And just sort of ask them about a water level. They don't know. It's been took out. People don't understand about what water levels do. It's old school, but even the surveyors go, oh, I don't know. I don't know. That sounds weird, doesn't it? You know, like you heard
didn't Roohif say
guy
you
with the
needed
canal.
to fight the water level?
Yeah.
Like, that just shows you they don't know what they're talking about.
Well, Roohif doesn't know what he's talking about, right? I mean, but there's no point talking to these people. Rumpus, all of these people, they don't even know what they're talking about. Like you heard when I asked that surveyor about the water level in the canal. He said it was horizontal, right? I mean,
horizontal.
He's just not. There's no need for them to think about any sort of a curve. Right, mate. Right, we're doing a bit of a project about level with the lad, right? It's horizontal, right?
Yeah.
It's nothing else.
See, I call it vertical because it's up and down.
Well, it's perpendicular, isn't it?
Yeah.
Horizontal and vertical. Level is, it's not curved at all, is it?
No, it's flat.
Can't have a curve in it.
Can't be curved, no, it's flat.
Brilliant. Cheers, mate.
All right.
So, the water level in the canal.
Yeah.
Horizontal, right?
Yeah, so, yeah.
Because like it goes...
That's what the lock does, the lock changes the level, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So in theory, from one lock to the next, the water level should be the same.
So, like here, the canal goes from Liverpool Locks.
Yeah.
All the way to Apley Bridge.
Yeah.
27 miles.
Yeah.
One level.
No.
No locks.
Oh, no locks.
There's no locks from Liverpool all the way. This is the south.
If there's no locks, in theory, it should be level.
Yeah.
Otherwise, your water should spill out of it.
I know. Hello. Horizontal, right?
Yeah.
Brilliant.
So.
Cheers, mate.